Here we are again. You know what it is. You know what time it is. You know what the fuck I do with these things. If you're a hip-hop listener, if you're a hip-hop avid connoisseur of nothing but the dopeness of the fly shit, you are no stranger to Orion Hip Hop, this channel of what I'm bringing you. Brassball09 if you're viewing this from your Instagram living room. But here we are. And I got another tape cassette for you. It is not from my stash. It is from the homie, no stranger to the show, Old Head Ed. What they do, homie?
Yeah. We back at it again. Yeah, man. This is definitely one of those. I'm excited to get into this one.
This is a special episode because unlike other episodes, it's actually gonna kind of be a two-parter because in your collection, I found that you had two tape cassette singles. One's a tape cassette single, and then the other one's a tape cassette sampler.
Word.
But if they're the same group for the same album, and we're speaking about the Beatnuts from their album Stone Crazy.
Intoxicated Demons, the
So
Beatnuts.
we're gonna go into this first one, man. The first one is the single for Do You Believe, which is a single from the Stone Crazy album.
Yeah.
I believe it was like their lead off.
Yes. Yeah.
But
They had a video and everything.
But
Yeah.
the most notable single on Stone Crazy is Off the Books, featuring Big Pun and Cuban Links. But we gonna keep it on Do You Believe. Now, do you believe you can recall when you got this tape cassette of Do You Believe?
Yeah, all right. So definitely the Do You Believe, ever since listening to Intoxicated Demons, finding out that one half or one third of the group at that point was there was a Dominican dude involved. This is way before I even knew that they were part of Native Tongues and what their repertoire was as far as music, what they had done already on the production tip. So I kept in tune with this group, Intoxicated Demons, street level, looking for the next thing. The moment I find out that they have something new coming out and it's in the form of Do You Believe, I gotta get the single. This single I copped North Miami Beach. It wasn't Coconuts at the time, but it was the original Coconuts location, but the name had changed. And so I copped the single for that joint.
I also copped this single, but I didn't cop it on tape cassette. I had it on CD.
Okay.
And when I was looking at the back listing, the tape cassette single and the CD have the same amount of tracks, and sometimes it doesn't work that way for whatever reason. It is, but on this one it does. And I like this single because it gives you the clean version, the dirty version, the instrumental, and the acapella.
Yeah.
And then it does the same thing for the B-side track as well. So that's always a treat when these tape cassette singles do that. I can't stand it when they just give you like album version, clean version.
Yeah.
And then B-side, album version, clean version. That's all you get here.
Yeah.
You only spent $4. Fuck you. You know what I mean? I can't stand that.
You can't let another one go? Something?
Yeah, for real. You couldn't give me something here? A remix? Something? But, at least they gave you a little bit of all those things. I can't tell you how many times I freestyled over Do You Believe. But what about you, man? Like, do you have any memories of playing this tape cassette at all?
Yeah, no, definitely bumped this heavy again, and just preparing myself for what was to come. And even then, I didn't prepare myself thoroughly because, like you said, Off the Books is one of the joints off this album, and who would have seen that coming?
Right.
And that becoming like this, that was the runaway. That was the runaway joint off this album. Even though Do You Believe was a dope single, the Off the Books is it's uncomparable. So I thoroughly remember bumping it. I'm glad to remember that the fact was that I got into this off the strength off the single. So by the time that everybody else was catching on through Off the Books, I was like, I already knew what was happening here.
Right.
So definitely bumping this. Besides that, I remember the video. It was very real day-to-day life. Juju, I remember him in the kitchen of the apartment. The mom's walking in and out of the kitchen while he's sitting there and kicking the rhymes. So yeah, man, it was something that definitely left a mark on me in my younger days.
Do You Believe made me a big Beatnuts fan. I was already familiar with them somewhat because of Reign of the Tech, but I hadn't dived into street level.
All right.
So or Intoxicated Demons.
Gotcha.
None of that. And then Do You Believe? I remember it came on Hoodstock Radio. I needed to have it. I saw it available. The single was out before the album, and I bought the single, and that's why I had it. Right. But I also like the fact that like I recognized the sample right away because the sample was from Los Angeles Negro.
Yep.
And my dad, for some reason, when he would work on construction projects or work on a car, he liked bumping like these bolero songs.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why are you doing this to yourself? These songs are depressing. This is like depressing work right now. You are sweating to the point that you're like on the verge of dehydration, man. Why are you? It was just depressing songs, but the sounds were always fucking ill. And it wasn't until hearing Do You Believe that I was just like, oh shit, like you can really flip these sounds. And that's what made me like start really listening into like the hip hop songs that I liked for those type of samples to see if anybody was catching on.
Was onto it, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I'm gonna say about this particular fucking tape cassette is the B-side. Give Me the Ass. Now, here's the thing with this. Give Me the Ass. Give Me the Ass is not a bad song. But in the context of the time that it came out, it didn't work for me that Will Smith had MIB and it was the same sample. The beats sound identical. And it made me somewhat hate Give Me the Ass and somewhat like Give Me the Ass. I always felt like Give Me the Ass would have been a dope video, like especially the way the song starts. I always felt like a dope video for it would be like starting in like a supermarket, but not just any supermarket. It's got to be like a Presidente or Serrano's.
Where it's not just one ethnic aisle. It's it's the whole store is an ethnic.
Yeah, and then it goes into like a whole music video in a supermarket type thing. Maybe like that Jane's Addiction video. The guy, I forgot the name of the song.
Talking about.
He's going crazy in the maybe something like that. I always felt like would be fitting. But that was one of the and look, it had the instrumental for Give Me the Ass, but I never freestyled over it. I refused. I refused to.
That was one of those like Beatnuts. You know what Beatnuts brought to the table, and there was always gonna be some risque shit. And I think that they were trying to hit that with this joint here. I was never a big fan of Give Me the Ass.
It was the one joint you could have done without. Stone Crazy. Now I'm gonna tell you one of the highlights of this mixtape. Not mixtape. This cassette single, the bonus beats.
Oh yeah.
Track number 9, the bonus beats. I can't tell you how many times I rhymed over that shit. And thank God I had the CD and not the tape.
It would have been. You would have been like.
I would have had to fast forward so many times just to get the bonus.
No, you would have had to dub over like the origins of hip hop, where you're dubbing over just the bonus beat and then doubling it up.
But the bonus beats is actually not that easy to rap to. In the context of like that time of like 95 BPM to or even lower, like 90 BPM like that. I don't know what the BPM is on that track, but I know it's a little bit higher, and I'm not too sure on the loop and how it goes. It sounds amazing. I love that fucking bonus beat, but it's not easy to rap to, dog. Like it's not. I've fucked up MCs and ciphers like putting this shit.
You became that persona non grata where like, oh, this guy's fucking up the whole cipher.
That guy. So let me ask you this, because then there's, like I said, this is a double header. We have a sampler that was also in your crates right now, and that's the sampler for the same album we're talking about.